I'm going to show you how to create amazing restaurant, cafe, bar lighting in your space without spending $420 on a light. I had a operator come to me recently saying that his designer specified $900 lights for their space. And so there was 10 of them, which was $9,000 worth of lights, which is nuts, because if you apply that sort of thinking across everything in your space, like your furniture, your lighting, your equipment, the finishes on the wall, that's when costs start to add up and up and up. But when you look to find more creative solutions across everything, that's where you just slash these costs. I had one of my students open up a burger venue, burger spot recently it cost him $150,000 for the whole thing. He's a good operator. He'll do 20, 30 grand a week out of this thing, and he'll make great money out of it, and he'll pay it off in no time. But whereas a lot of spaces these days are opening up at $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. But if you apply this sort of thinking, that's how you get a better result. So just looking at the lighting, obviously you don't want crappy lighting like this. Your lighting does affect your atmosphere. It's just like your music, right? Like you walk in and the space is too bright, it feels uncomfortable, you don't enjoy being in there, or it's too dark, same as the music, right? The music's dull and boring, or it's classical music in the wrong sort of environment. And so this lighting stuff's critical, but it's actually really easy to manage without getting like overwhelmed by it. So like first thing on the cost side of things, this is a pizza joint I did a while ago that it's a cool space. It's a sourdough wood-fired pizza. Again, it heaved all day long. I think they did 30, 35 grand weeks out of a small space. These lights are a cheap pendant with a pizza pan on them. That's it. And if you look at this cost, pizza pan for $7, get a pendant for $35. This thing costs $42 or something like that. And it was effective. It was a warm glow in the window. You could see it from the street. It was obviously on brand. And I did a reverse Google image search on this. And that one looks pretty similar, $420. Obviously you can get a cheap one. These ones, some sort of Alibaba type thing, but you can get them for $2,000. You don't need to use that high-end lighting for your space, and so you don't have to go full cheese with this and be super themey, but you can use a lot of different products and reuse them or repurpose them to create awesome pendant lighting. You can do the same thing for floor lamps and table lamps and uplighting. You can light things up using simple lighting and other simple things to create interesting features, and you just need to go through a bit of a concept process to figure it out, but it's not hard stuff. So looking at that, I just wanted to speak, so that's how you drop the cost down. And then as far as that flexibility, right? So just some technical terms, 3,000K, you can get kind of 2,700K as the warm lighting. So that's what you should be using for your front of house. And then you got back of house, which is that 4,000K for that white light for kitchens, which is easier to work with and see, and it's more like daylight-like. Now, there's a bit of a balance there. A lot of you might have kitchens that are connected to the front of house, so you don't want too much of that white light bleeding out into your space. It matters less so for, say, like a burger joint that's pumping out heaps of burgers, but it's still nice to create that warm intimacy in the front of house, and it's very important for restaurants. So you can use these 3,000K sort of lights in kitchens. You just need the flexibility to dial the lighting up and down to suit. So in the way back of house, you can just put like LED battens back there, and boom, you've lit up the space, you're fine. In areas that bleed between the front of house and back of house, even better, there are bulbs out there that go between these different warmth levels, which is, so you can dial it up to 4,000K and bring it back to 3,000K, and then you can bring the brightness up and down. If you can find bulbs like that, great. Then they are a bit more expensive, but they allow you that total flexibility to make sure your lighting is perfect. Now you can go down the route of using a lighting engineer and spend tens of thousands of dollars perfecting it and then really expensive lighting, or you can do more of this ad hoc approach so that you can tweak it to perfection on the day to make it exactly right as you want it. So there's those just around dimming. So yeah, it's so important to have anything front of house dimmable, because you need different light levels depending on the day, depending on the brightness of a day. A super overcast day has different light. A cafe, you kind of want a bit more bright in the morning. Some of them are a bit moodier, but like a restaurant, you definitely want some warmer, darker lighting in there, and you want the ability to tweak it based on your space and your preferences to get it to the right point. So having everything dimmable is critical. The other thing though is there's apps. Like, you want to try and find apps, and there's so many of them and different light bulbs. Just Google it and find it. That let you control it, so you're not leaving it up to your casual staff to change the lighting when they think it's too dark or too light. So I used to, back when I used to own cafes, it used to annoy me. The two things that would annoy me: walking in and having the music at the wrong level or the wrong type of music, and having the lighting at the wrong level and the wrong type of lighting. And this sort of things allows you to set that lighting to your preferences, what they should be, without anyone else touching it. You can also get light sensors that go into your space that will change your light bulbs to suit the amount of natural daylight coming in. So it can automatically adjust it so your lighting is perfect every time, so you get that consistent experience for your customer. So that's what I wanted to go through mostly with these, with the lighting side of things. As you may know, I've got a program that teaches restaurant, cafe, bar owners to design their own spaces and do all this sort of thing to bring their cost levels down. I've designed hundreds and hundreds of these. I've owned my own. I want to help you create operationally efficient layouts so that you can get the most out of your space, the least amount of staff, so you're making the most profit you can, and ensuring your build out and fit out costs are as low as possible. So hopefully this has been helpful, and click the link below if you want to check out that other program.
So this is exactly what a plant comes